Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Eclipser channel. In this video, we would be doing an end-to-end POC demo using AWS Glue. Open aws.amazon.com.
Once you are here, click on My Account and then click on AWS Management Console. Once you are here,
you can use your existing AWS credentials or you can create a new AWS account.
Creating a new AWS account is pretty straightforward. You would need your email ID, password, mobile number and a credit card details to basically have a free tier account. Free tier accounts, I think it's provided for 12 months. There are certain kind of AWS services which comes free with certain limitations. So it's a good starting point to basically do a POC and do an exploration around AWS services.
If you want more detail, you can visit aws.amazon.com/free. This is AWS free tier service page. It has all the list of free services which are available. For more detail, click on Explore Our Free Tier Services. Here you'll find the detail about the services and the limitations. Now coming to the login screen, we'll select the user as a root user and we'll enter the email ID which is already registered with AWS. Enter the caption.
Enter your password. So here we will be taking an example of
parking system which has the data regarding the fines and the parking violations. We'll share the data source link in the description. The process will basically load the data from the CUC files into our S3 bucket. And from S3 bucket, we have a crawler job which will load into tables.
Once that is set up, we'll go to AWS Glue Studio and basically we'll set up a job which will load the data from both the sets. We'll apply some mapping, some filtration and some aggregation and then again write it back. So this is a good starting point to basically show the capability of AWS Glue. To get started,
the first thing we'll have to do is to set up an AWS role which we'll be using it for the POC. To do that, type in IAM here.
Now come to roles. We'll create a new roles, even though AWS provides the roles on the fly, but we'll create a one specifically for our demo. Here you have to select the AWS services and inside of services, we are going to select the Glue. Once you are done, click on next. So here we will we'll search for Glue. So there is already a policy called AWS Glue Services, which we will be using it for our demo purpose. If you want to see the list of permission it already has, you can click here. So if you look at it's having this services, the CloudWatch, it has a light permission non-resource, CloudWatch log, EC2 instance, Glue full access. We will need this. IAM access for reading and writing and S3 for basically for reading it from the S3. So once you have selected this, you can provide a tag. This is something which is optional. Give the role name and description is you can provide your own description, and once you are done, you will create the role. Once you see now this role is created, trusted entities, you can see it. So once you are here, once we are done, so now we would basically need the data and for basically exporting or basically trying out the parking data, right? So there is already this data set which you will be using it. So I will be providing the link for this particular data set. So this has a parking ticket and this has a trial or wherever there are a trial going on. So for this, we will download the data for 2020. Similarly, we'll also download the data for trial. We'll download the zip file. Okay.
These are the downloaded zip files we just downloaded. You might get this error while doing the extraction. Please ignore it. Once we have this data, there is an issue between the linking up this data set. One of the data set has extra spaces due to which we are not able to link the both data set. We will take one sample data set. For the POC, we will take this particular data set. We will open this with Notepad++.
And to show you, we'll be using this data set. So I'm explicitly opening it in Notepad.
I wanted to show you the difference between both the data set. Now you're looking at the parking data. If you look at the tag number, which is a primary key for this particular data set, doesn't have any space, and which is linking the column between both the data set. Now if you go to the trial data set, it has an extra space appended. There is a good feature in Eclipser where you can do an Eclipser and select the section which you want to delete it. So here we are using it to delete the empty spaces which we have in the trial table. Now we are good with this data set.
Now let's go to S3. So once you are here, we'll create the bucket.
We'll set the region as US1. While creating the services, make sure that you're selecting same region for all the services.
We'll keep all the settings as default. The one thing is that like the whatever data or create bucket you create, I think those are global in nature. So you need to have a unique name. So since this is already present, so yep. 2021 1. Let's keep it this way. I think there are certain restrictions in terms of how you name the bucket. So for more details, you can click this way. So this is the bucket which you have created. Okay. Now we'll create here 3 folders.
So basically we'll be uploading the parking data, which has both ticket and travel data, into the respective folder. And we're storing the result into the result folder. Now we'll basically upload the trial data. We'll use the modified file from where we remove the empty spaces.
This is uploaded.
This might take some time since it's a 12 MB file.
So now we are pretty much done with the data setup which is required for our POC. Now we will go to Glue.
First thing we'll have to do is to set up a database and then set up a crawler which will read the data from the S3 and will create the respective table for us.
Okay. One thing to make sure, right? Like I told you previously, right? Like
Whatever services you are creating, make sure you are creating them in the same region.
if you look at, if you have seen previously, we created the S3 bucket in the US East 1 region, and now here by default it is showing as Mumbai. So let's switch it over to US East 1 region. Here, if you see, there are a few databases which are already present. This I had created previously. We create a new one. For simplicity, I think we will use the same format just to avoid the confusion. So this is the database which we have created. Now we'll set up a crawler. So here there are already two crawler present which I have created previously. I think we'll delete those to avoid any confusion. Similarly, tables are also here. We'll delete those as well. Database, let's delete this. Okay. Now we are pretty much clean. Okay. So crawler is basically you will specify the name. Here I will name it at we'll select the data source type as data source. Crawl all folder, crawl new folders. I think this is a setting. We go with the default one. So here the data source we will be selecting as S3. There are other data sources which are supported. And then you'll have to specify the like object path. So if you come here, you will see the data set which we have created, the S3 bucket set, right? So this is for trials. So we will use the folder. You can select the specific CSV file or if you select this folder. So if you select this, so if you add more files, I think that would become accessible. You will have to just run the repo column and the data will be populated. We will select this and let's post this one. Yeah. So now to read the data, we'll have to basically provide the IAM access rules. We have already created it. So we will use this demo AWS Glue rule, which we have created just some time before. You can specify the frequency, like how you want to run the crawler, or whether it's up. For now, I think we'll keep it run on demand. You have to select the database which you have created, any prefix you want to give. I think rest of the settings, I think we'll keep it as it is. So this is how it will look like. The name of your crawler, the IAM role, the S3 bucket path, and So this is done. So now if you look at, right, we don't have anything in the table section. We have set up one crawler here, right? So what we'll do, we will run this crawler. It will take some time. Uh, in the meantime, let's add the another crawler for the tickets. Select the same setting. Here in the bucket, let's select the tickets. Let's select one on demo, database, next. So we are done. So you see here, this is about to get finished. In the meantime, let's run this also. Yeah, this might take some time. So I think if you look at this section, right, the database tables crawler we like discuss at high level. In the ETL, I think you can create a jobs, triggers, and all those things basically and build an ETL pipeline. What we are going to do it in our demo, okay, crawler has made a changes, zero table created, zero table updated. Okay, let's check the log. Not all the access denied. I think I only provided the AWS Glue services role and did not provide the S3 full access to this newly created role, and that was the reason we are not able to. Okay. Now this should work. In the meantime, I think this gets open. Let me close the other one. So now we'll go to another service where we can actually query the data set which would be generated by a crawler. So make sure the region is correct. Now let's see. Let's run this also. Now this time we should expect the tables to be created. Take some time. We'll do one thing. In the meantime, open all those required data and sections so that we can monitor, and I think they're moving on. Now open Athena, we have this moving to AWS. Okay. We'll have this side. Let's see what's happening at the caller. Okay. In the meantime, I think till the caller gets complete, I think we'll give you a high-level overview of how do we create a job in using the AWS Glue Studio. So basically, we'll select the visual plus source code and target. The source and destination, I think, doesn't matter. We can go with the default for now. We'll be going to change this. So once you come here, right, there are, I think, basically whatever is required for the technical pipeline. You have a source, you have a transformations, and you have target, like where we done the result of that transformation. Okay, let's give the first thing job, a name to our job. AWS Glue Demo 2021.
The different sources which are supported by AWS Glue are listed below. In the transformation, you can see the list of transformations is supported on the fly. So we have select field, we have drop field, we have the drop down field as well. If you want to do a join, you can use join. There's a filter, there's aggregation, there's a file missing value, and there is custom transformation you can write. So now the tables have been created. Now we can write the query.
Okay. So if you see now, right, you can basically query the data, the CSV data. So
It is just a wrapper over the S3 data set. It gives us more flexibility in terms of querying the data. Let's get started. Let's select the source as Amazon S3 and S3 source type and data catalog table. We will be using the parking data and basically do a transformation, aggregation, and join in that using the AWS Glue.
So if you select here, you select the tickets. So node property, we just name it as tickets. So this is pretty much done. Now we'll add one more source. This will be for where we'll select the trials. Now we are done with this. Now we'll add some transformation. So we'll use the transformation like apply mapping. You have to select the parent. You selected the parent. So transformation basically will help you like if you want to drop certain columns or change the target data type. So for I think for trial, I think we're not going to do anything. So we'll keep it as it is. We'll add one more apply transformation. We'll move it. Mapping where we'll select the columns. Ticket. Transformation, I think what we'll do, I think we will drop few of this column which we don't need. So once we are done it, I think we will use the join. So different types of joins are supported. Like just consider it to be like a sort of a SQL join. So here will do a inner join. Name it. So the parent will select this. Okay. Once you come to, I think you'll have to key the join key. Here we'll select the tag number, and in that let's say the parking ticket number. So now we are done with the join. Here, I think what we are going to do, we are going to use a custom transformation. So the snippet I think which we are using here, I think we'll share it in the description. So here we'll name it as aggregate tickets. It will be based on this one table. And the transformation we would be doing it. As is. And this will keep it as it is. Now we'll do one more. Select from collection. It's not. Parent is aggregated tickets, transformation method. And this is also done. And now since once we are done, I think we'll put it under S3, the result of this into an S3 bucket. We'll select the format to PS3. Let's keep the compression type to be none. Here we can browse the storage. Even though we are not able to see this, I think we will keep it the default result. Okay. Let's click on save. You can run the job manually, and if you look at if you want to see like what's happening with the data set, it has a very good feature like providing a data preview. When you do data preview, it's triggering the ETL job, but you can see like at what each layer, like what kind of data you are getting it. So if you have to choose like with any of the enrichment or transformation, or if it is not working correctly, I think we can use this data preview capability for it. So for now, I think keeps complaining about one thing. Yeah, we need to assign the IAM role. So we'll use the one which we have created. The type of job will keep it as Spark. Underneath it's using the Spark, the Glue version, language Python. So I think there are two programming languages support Python and Scala. A number of jobs, and I think these are some of the default properties to basically which is required for the AWS Glue job. Now it has created that job. We can run the job from here itself. Now I think we can go to this monitoring. So if you see at the bottom, the job which we triggered, right, it's getting started. So in the meantime, we will show you that the results are already getting populated. So this initially was not there. This is basically the output of the AWS batch job. This is how basically you can execute the join. Yeah, the job is succeeded now. If you come here, right, you can see the results. So this is how we can basically get the AWS Glue in place. So this was one of the sample demo which I wanted to show it. I hope you guys like it. So if you have any feedback or any suggestion or any topics you want to cover it, I think probably in future we like to go deep dive into each section. I think we touch base like each of the component at a very high level. I think we'll have a more deep dive sessions going forward. So I think do subscribe to our channel and do let us know any topic which you want to interested in. Thanks a lot. Bye.